WWE is being forced to make major changes. We're going to talk about all of that plus so much more, and it's all coming up right here on the Ango Show. Welcome back to TAS, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ango. If you guys like pro wrestling, you should totally click subscribe. I want to kick things off with some very interesting news. WWE Netflix, WWE SmackDown on USA Network. There's just a lot of conflicting reports in regards to SmackDown being 3 hours long, and there's a lot of conflicting reports to WWE Raw remaining 2 hours long on Netflix. Now, as of now, you may have seen tons and tons of reports. We have talked about it. WWE planning to go back to 3 hours when Raw is on Netflix. Well, it actually appears that nothing's been confirmed for either sides. So for anybody who has been wondering if Raw will be 3 hours or 2 hours, or if SmackDown will be 2 hours or 3 hours, the truth is nobody actually knows. There's been no confirmation from USA Network, and there's been no confirmation from the executives at Netflix. Now, if we're going to speculate, I do fully believe that Raw will be 3 hours long, and I fully believe that SmackDown will be 3 hours long. The only show remaining as a 2 hour long show is in fact NXT. And trust me, NXT's numbers are pretty damn impressive. And I could see maybe the CW at some point even wanting 3 hours of NXT. I don't think that would be in the immediate future. But obviously, as you guys know, WWE does have multi-year deals in place with all of these TV companies. And it would make sense because an extra hour means more advertising revenue. And with WWE being as hot as it is, I can totally see the CW, USA, and Netflix all wanting to capitalize on it. As far as WWE Raw on Netflix goes, I just keep seeing different reports every single day. As of now, nothing's been confirmed. That is the most important aspect. When plans are finalized, I will make a follow-up video to this. So if you guys aren't clicking subscribe and ringing the bell, you totally should. Okay, let's talk about Saturday night's main event. I'm super excited about this. WWE is definitely treating this like a PLE, even though it will not be a PLE. It is, in fact, going to be on NBC. Saturday night's main event will return on NBC on December 14th at 8 p.m. at NASA Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island, New York. Basically, what you guys need to know is that Dave Meltzer is now reporting two major plans for the show, which include Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Championship and Gunther versus Damian Priest for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And this is incredibly exciting. Dave Meltzer says that we are told that these are currently slated but not etched in stone, which means WWE has obviously not confirmed the plans here. The reason why I'm talking about this is really to talk about Saturday night's main event. WWE is doing these network specials, and I said it before. I said WWE really needs to have some big time matchups on this card. And that's the most important thing, right? You know, Gunther versus Damian Priest is a big time matchup because Damian Priest obviously was the former World Heavyweight Champion. Also, for Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, there's a new story playing out with Kevin Owens essentially turning heel. I think WWE is doing a really good job with the Kevin Owens storyline. Also, what is really interesting here is it looks like Kevin Owens actually re-signed with the company, but WWE is going to play into it. So this is just one of those situations where I think WWE can have some really big time matchups for this card. And then, of course, you don't have to watch it on Peacock. I do believe WWE will simulcast it on Peacock, but it will be available on NBC, which means if you have an antenna, you can watch it for free, which is also very, very exciting. So I'm super excited about that. I'm glad to see that Saturday night's main event is being treated like a big deal. And then just the other day, we were talking about Jesse Ventura being part of it. So as you can imagine, if WWE brings back that old school feel, I think a lot of people will be drawn into it, which I think will be a really good thing. Speaking of big time events, WWE Survivor Series is undergoing a change. This is a nice change, in my opinion. I think this is a great change. I don't know how you guys feel about it. And honestly, I just want to talk about it because I think everybody's going to have a different opinion here. But WWE is actually listing Survivor Series at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. WWE has confirmed that this is indeed the case. And, WWE was doing earlier pay-per-views or earlier PLEs due to UFC pay-per-views being on the same night. Well, when Survivor Series is live, there is not a UFC pay-per-view. So WWE is not competing with the UFC, but they're still making the change so that to the fact that it is going to be an earlier PLE. This is exciting for me because I just think, one of the big things I've liked, when WWE goes international, when they do PLEs at 2 p.m., for example, when they're in Saudi Arabia, or when they were in France or Germany, like, as you guys know, for me, it being Eastern time zone, having those earlier pay-per-views just make it so much more enjoyable to enjoy the rest of the day, especially because WWE PLEs don't go as long anymore. So the cool thing about Survivor Series starting at 6 p.m. Eastern is the fact that Survivor Series will probably end around 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30ish. And that still leaves you the rest of the night to do whatever you want to do if you have plans or if you want to do something like that. I just like the idea of earlier PLEs. I've been one of the guys that have been, and I know this part hasn't really been the most popular opinion, but I have been very keen on saying WWE should do all PLEs on Sundays, and I like the idea of them doing them a little bit earlier. That's just my personal opinion. It looks like WWE is going to be experimenting with start times for PLEs. I think it's a welcome change. I'm super curious to see what your guys' point of view is. Obviously, wrestling is subjective, opinions are subjective. This is just one that I think favors me on a personal level a little bit more. Obviously, I'm not saying WWE needs to make a whole bunch of changes just because I want them, but that's really why I enjoy this change. So I'm very curious to see what you guys think and how it affects you. WWE and Def Rebel, we've heard rumors of Def Rebel being kicked out of WWE at some point by the end of the year. We have a whole bunch of clarification here. Fightful Select's Corey Brennan says that WWE is very well aware of the fan backlash and they continue to closely monitor the feedback coming in. This is something that we've talked about. Well, now WWE has listed a new director of music strategy and operations job listing, and it's being specifically said that this isn't necessarily replacing a composer for WWE, but they are looking for somebody to take over the music strategy and operations. This is where things get a little bit more interesting. Several WWE talents who use Def Rebel's themes have expressed frustration with the way their songs are produced. Some have even went as far as to say they highly dislike their current entrance songs. I totally understand, totally makes sense, because I have been saying that Def Rebel sucks. Very few theme songs are a hit for Def Rebel. Most of them are trash, but theme songs are very, very important to a wrestler. Incredibly important. It's part of their gimmick, it's part of their presentation, everything like that. There was a rumor that WWE was going to start licensing songs. It's been confirmed that there are no imminent plans for WWE to do this. The reason why is because WWE does enjoy making money, and obviously spending money on licensed music, it just causes a lot of problems. It costs a lot more money. WWE will continue to license music songs for future WWE PLEs, but they won't do that for talent. It was also noted that CFO would work closely with talents that they were producing theme songs for. However, Def Rebel is not one of them. This is interesting because WWE was trying to cut costs. They went to Def Rebel, and they cut costs and made a lot of mistakes the entire time. So, yeah, it's time for somebody new to do the music. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. How do you see it all panning out? Let me know.